Erling Haaland is an unbelievable goalscorer and one of the best strikers in world football right now. He even scored a hat-trick against my team, the mighty Ipswich Town. But this video isn't about how good he is at football. We all know about that, especially us Ipswich fans. This video is about the money he earns, and he earns a lot of money. There's no confirmed figure about how much he earns, but media reports suggest it's in the ballpark of £375,000 per week, which reportedly makes him the second highest paid player in the league, ahead of the likes of Mo Salah. £375,000 is a huge amount of money, and more than most people make in a decade, let alone a week. However, in this video, we'll go through how someone on the average salary in the UK can reach this figure through investing in the stock market. Investing is all about putting money into something you believe will go up in value and make a positive financial return. And this is exactly what we're going to look to do to reach that 375k figure. But before we decide what to invest in, we need to understand how much someone on the average salary in the UK can invest. According to the ONS, the average salary in the UK is currently £34,963. We're going to assume that this person can invest an aggressive amount of 25% of their salary into investments each year. This gives us £8,740.75. So how the hell do we get from 8k to 375k? This seems like a huge jump, and it is, and you may be thinking we're going to have to invest in something with crazy high risk, like a niche crypto scheme. But that's not the case. It's not the case at all. We'll be investing in one of the most common investments out there in the American stock market. We'll be investing in a fund tracking something called the S&P 500 Index, which tracks 500 large companies in the US, including all the big tech companies such as Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, and every other large American company out there. So essentially, we'll be investing in a slice of the biggest companies in the world. The exact fund we'll be using is Vanguard's S&P 500 fund, and the reason we're using this specific fund is because of the low fees at just 0.03% of the fund's value, and the fact that Vanguard is a very large, stable, reliable fund provider. This Vanguard fund, and investing in the S&P 500 more generally, has historically provided a good way to make a return on your money. In fact, the index has returned an average of 10.26% from 1957 to 2023. And although past performance does not guarantee future performance, the S&P 500 has historically provided great returns. And it's for this reason that Warren Buffett, probably the most famous investor in the world, stated that in my view, for most people, the best thing to do is to own the S&P 500 index fund. However, any mathematicians out there will probably be thinking, this doesn't add up. A 10.26% return on 8.7k isn't enough to get to Mr. Haaland's salary at 375k. And the reason for this is because we're missing two key ingredients to supercharge our return to get to that 375k figure. And that's consistency and the compound effect. Consistency in investing 8.7k every year, and the compound effect in getting returns on our returns. And let's bring up a compound calculator to show exactly how these factors come together to get us to that magic 375k figure. We'll input an annual return rate of 10.26% based on the historical S&P 500 return rate. We'll input an annual deposit amount of £8,740.75 based on 25% of the average UK salary we went through earlier. And in terms of timelines, we're going to input 16 years and 1 month and click calculate. And we can see this timeline is enough to get us above Erling Haaland's weekly salary, with a future investment value of just over 383k. If we reduce the timeline slightly to 16 years, we can see the future investment value is under 375k, so we need to go with 16 years and 1 month as we hit that magic 375k figure somewhere between 16 years and the first month of the 17th year. And by the end of that month, we're above that figure, we're above Erling Haaland's salary at 383k. And we can see that over 234k of that came from investment return, with only 148k coming from hard-earned money in the form of setting aside 25% of the average salary. This shows the power of the compound effect in getting returns on your returns. If we dig deeper into the return data, we can see that at the start, in year 1, the investment return was just £940. But in the last full year, in the 16th year, we have an investment return of over £36,000. This is because even though we're investing the same yearly sum of just over 8.7k in year 1 and year 16, and getting the same percentage return in year 1 and year 16 at 10.26%, the difference is that in year 16, we're getting returns also on previous deposits and previous returns too, meaning we're getting a 10.26% return on over 326k, whereas in year 1, we're getting a 10.26% return on just 8.7k. So this shows that through consistent investing and exploiting the compound effect, it is possible to use investing to get to Erling Haaland's weekly wage. Obviously, there's an absolutely huge difference here in that Haaland earns this on a weekly basis, and it's taken over 16 years to get to the same figure through investing. But nonetheless, I hope that this video has shown that investing can be a useful mechanism to build up your money over the long term. If you want to find out about my own investing strategy, then I have a video around here. And if you want more personal finance related content from this channel and want to see it, then I greatly appreciate a subscribe. But for this video, thanks for watching.